Communication is very important in our day-to-day lives. When we are dealing with any individual who is living with some kind of life-limiting illness, the piece of communication is really very important. It includes how we say, what we are saying, a simple thing as our tone, our body language, and sometimes not saying anything is maintaining that silence is also communication. It is very important. So when we are dealing with any individual who is palliative, who is living with life-limiting illness, it is very important to give that person a safe platform to communicate, where that person feels safe to express what he or she is going through. Listening is very important part of communication. Sometimes, I come across so many scenarios where people want to just talk and they want me to listen. So because they have questions and the questions have no answers. It is just that they want an opportunity to just talk about that, and they just want somebody listening without judging them. That gives them an opportunity of sharing what their journey is, how they are feeling on day-to-day basis when they are struggling with their illness. So listening is very, very important. Maybe that is sometimes the only thing that they need, and that is one of the most important things that we as caregivers, as service providers, can give them. It is very important for the caregivers to have a list of all the team members who are involved in the care. It is also very important that if you have any questions, feel free to ask your team members, your doctors, your physicians, your nurse practitioner. Do not hold on to any questions, and make sure that you are writing those answers, because down the lane, if you need to rethink over them, you know that what was discussed. So that is an evidence. And if there is any kind of gaps, any concern, or any changes that you are observing, noticing, do not hesitate to inform your healthcare team about those, because something may be right, something may be wrong. And if it is wrong, then it can be dealt in a very timely manner. It is okay to discuss your concerns with your doctor or nurses, because they are the people who are helping you with this journey of fighting with your disease. If you don't tell them, they will not know. So never hesitate to discuss anything or disclosing anything with your healthcare team. It is very important that if you're taking any alternative medications, you should inform your healthcare providers, because don't forget, at this point of time, you are already on so many medications. You don't want any of other alternative medications causing any kind of conflict with the kind of treatment you are getting. And don't forget, you are in a very sensitive stage. So it is very important that if you're planning to go ahead with any kind of alternative treatment, your healthcare team should be aware of that fact. Having family and friends at this point of time is a big blessing. There are so many ways we can be in touch with them. Technology is really a boon nowadays, I will say. Skype, WhatsApp, just pick up a phone. There are certain things that we can really keep in mind during this phase. First is, and the most important is, that if a visitor is planning to come and if they are sick, just politely tell them that it's not a very good time that they should be visiting, because you don't want your loved one to be in contact with any kind of sickness. Secondly, you can ask your family and friends in what ways they can contribute towards helping you provide care. Some of the friends of yours or family members may opt for taking some your responsibility in terms of sharing time for providing care to your loved ones, or somebody would offer to make food. So there are so many ways people can offer to help. There might be times when you may have to tell people, and you have to politely, decline their request for visits, keeping in mind the comfort of your loved one. You may not want visitors coming in. You have to keep in mind that people may not appreciate and understand from where you are coming, but but you are doing it in the best interest of your loved one. If you feel that there are too many visitors, you can use some simple ways of letting them know that you would need your peace at this point of time. You can just send out an email to them, just appreciating their concern, but to postpone their visits till you tell them to come. So these are a couple of things we can always keep in mind when communicating with our family members and loved ones. It's very important to have a very open communication with kids about what is happening, because at times I have seen that kids too build up their own assumptions about the whole situation. There are a couple of things that we need to keep in mind when we are dealing with kids. First of all, acknowledging their feelings. They may be feeling very overwhelmed, keeping in mind what all is happening. So it is very important that we do acknowledge their feelings. We'll listen to them. Listening is very important. We should listen to what they have to say. Another important aspect is that keep a set routine. No matter what is happening, that is going to happen, it is very important that kids should have their routine, whenever and wherever it is possible. It is also very important to give kids an opportunity to express what they are feeling and how they are feeling. It can be through some play therapy, it can be through some counselor, but it is very important for kids to have that outlet where they're able to express their feelings. Be mindful. Kids may throw tantrums. They may be angry. They may be fearful. But it's very common and it is very natural for them. So be patient while dealing with kids. You will be encountering these experiences, these expressions from them. There might be some kind of your own personal experiences of dealing with grief or fear. Share those experiences with them. Let them know how you fought them. That might be an inspiration for them. It is very right that it is very uncomfortable and uneasy to talk to a person who is dying. There are a couple of things that we can always do to while communicating with the loved ones. First is never be judgmental. Never be judgmental. You may see your loved one may have anger. They may not talk. So don't be judgmental in thinking about why they're angry towards you. No, they are not angry towards you. It is the way they are dealing with they are coping with with the changes that is happening with their body. Give them an opportunity to express. Ask them how they are feeling. A simple gestures like holding hand, just lightly, gently squeezing hand. They are some of the comfort measures that can really help your loved one at this point of time. If possible, share and enjoy the happy memories that you have built with the loved one and the loved one has built with you. Silence is also a kind of communication. Sometimes silence is the only thing that a person may want. This is also a way of telling the loved one that we are there with you. Maybe your loved one may be in a state where they may not be able to talk, but your mere presence there might mean a lot to them at this point of time. It may mean to them that they are not alone. So these are a couple of things that we can consider when we are talking to a palliative individual who is dying.